Good morning and welcome to another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT, where we spend 15 minutes helping you create a movement habit. Today, we're going to focus on spine and shoulders. So we're going to start off with our shoulder cars. You can do this standing, you can do this kneeling. Starting off with the elbow straight and the bicep pointed out. Let you get into position here. We're going to come across the midline of the body, nice and slow. Coming up into shoulder flexion, away from midline. Starting to internally rotate, rotating the bicep down towards the floor as we come around behind and down to our sides. And reverse, going into extension, pulling that fist behind you. Externally rotating, pointing that bicep up. As we come up into shoulder flexion, bringing the bicep nice and close to the ear. As we come across the midline, rotating that bicep towards the ceiling and down to our sides. Going again. Across midline, that's adduction. Up into shoulder flexion, bringing the bicep close to the ear before we start coming away from midline. Internally rotating, rotating the bicep down towards the ground, coming around behind, keeping that fist nice and high, and then down to our sides. And reverse, extension, go as far as you can till you feel restriction. Then rotate that bicep up towards the ceiling, coming up into shoulder flexion, across the midline, bicep pointed up and down to our sides. And again, adduction, flexion, abduction, internal rotation, bicep pointed down, around behind into extension, and down to our side, and reverse. Nice and close to the ear, and around down to our side. We'll go to the other sides. Bicep pointed out, elbow straight. Coming across the midline, elbow's going to stay straight the whole time as we come up. Nice and close to the ear, away from midline. Carve out as much of that joint as possible, internally rotating. Coming around, using that full range of motion, and down to our sides. And reverse, straight back, externally rotating. Coming up nice and high, bicep close to the ear as we come across the midline, bicep pointed up and down to our side. And again, make it nice and smooth. I want you to control the full range of motion. Feel what's happening as you go. Feel which parts are difficult and we need to work slower through. The more difficult it is in a position, the slower you want to go. And we'll reverse, extension, external rotation, coming up into shoulder flexion, bicep close to that ear, across midline, elbows straight, and down to our side. And we'll do one more. Coming across midline, up into flexion, away from midline, elbows straight, internally rotating, bicep pointed down, coming around behind, down to our side, and reverse. Extension, external rotation, coming up nice and close, bicep pointed up, and down to our side. Next, we are going to go to our cat-cow spine segmentation. On our hands and knees. Hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We're going to take our spine into extension and flexion. We're going to do this nice and slow, creating a wave up and down the spine. I'll walk you through it here. Starting in a relatively neutral position, we're going to rotate that pelvis down towards the ground. I really want you to focus on just rotating those hips. This takes our spine, our lumbar spine, into extension, pressing the belly down, pressing the rib cage down, working our way up the spine, pulling that head up, pulling the chin up. Look up as high as you can, and reverse. Tucking the chin, tucking the head, coming up through the upper back, push away from the ground, pulling that rib cage in, pulling the belly in, and tucking your tail between your legs. That's full flexion. And we'll reverse with just the hips. Focus on just rotating the hips towards the ground as far as you can. Get as much out of those hips as possible. Now pressing that belly down, pressing the rib cage down, pulling the chest up, pulling the head up, pulling the chin up, looking up as high as we can, and revert. Tucking the chin, tucking the head like you're looking between your legs, coming up through the upper back, pulling that rib cage up, pulling the belly in, and tucking our tail between our legs. One more time here. Reversing by rotating those hips down. This is called an anterior pelvic tilt. As far as you can, then start pushing that belly down, pushing the ribs down, picking that chest up, picking the head up, picking the chin up, looking up as high as you can. Revert. Just the chin. Now tucking the head, looking between your legs, pushing away from the ground, coming up to the upper back, pulling that rib cage up, pulling the belly in, and tucking your tail between your legs. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to our scapular cars. We haven't done this one in a while. Hands out in front, make a fist. Again, we're going to be drawing a circle with this shoulder. So arms out in front, we'll start off by punching forward, gliding those scapula or shoulder blades along the rib cage. Then we're going to lift up, pulling those shoulders to the ears, squeezing back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and dropping down. Again, punching forward, that's protraction. Elevation, nice and slow, holding the previous movement as we do the next, squeezing the shoulder blades together and retraction and dropping down into depression. One more time, protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. Drop the arms, give them a quick shake, and then we'll do the other way, other direction. Fists out in front, elbows are straight, squeezing back, retraction, pulling those shoulders up into elevation, punching forward into protraction, dropping down into depression. Again, retraction, elevation, high as you can, protraction, punching forward, and depression, dropping down. One more time, retraction, elevation, protraction, and depression. Give you a quick shake here. Okay, next, we're going to do some spine rotation. This one on our hands and knees again. We are going to take our arm and reach. These are called reach throughs. Go figure. We are going to reach as far as we can. When you get to this point, you are going to press down into your hand and use the floor as leverage as we look up towards the ceiling. We're going to do 5 on each side. So here we go. Taking our hand, reaching through, looking up at the ceiling, pressing into the ground, trying to drop that shoulder down and back. That's 1. We're going to do 5. Reaching, pressing into the floor, looking up at the ceiling, get that shoulder down, back. That's 2. Here we go again, reaching as far as you can, looking up at the ceiling, pressing into the ground, and coming back. That's 3. 2 more here. Reach, reach, reach. Press into the ground, look up, pause, and back. 1 more here. Reaching as far as you can. Slowly back up. One thing you'll notice is this also stretches out the scapula. When we reach, we are stretching out our back here. So we're also going to get the scapula involved. Other side, here we go. Reaching through, looking up at the ceiling, pressing down, and back up. When we get to the end, you can empty out your lungs too. So deep breath in, reach, and slowly exhale. Pressing into the ground, looking up at the ceiling, and back. Again, deep breath in, reach, reach, reach. Press down, empty those lungs. And back. We got 2 more here. Deep breath in, reach, press down, look up. Good. And 1 more. Deep breath in. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to our shoulders again. This time, we're going to work on internal rotation. For most people, this is something that we need to work on with our shoulder. We are creating space in the joint when we work on internal rotation. We're going to lie down on our side. Elbow is going to be at 90 degrees. You're going to take your shoulder, and I want you to tuck it down. That's scapular depression. So keeping that shoulder nice and close. Don't let it lift up towards your ear. From here, you're going to make a fist. You're going to clench that fist, create tension in your arm. We're going to take our opposite hand, provide resistance. We're going to push that fist down, and you're trying to resist, creating as much resistance as possible. You're going to feel a little pinch in that shoulder. Go as far as you can, hold, and then you're going to pull your hand back up under resistance. That's 1. This is called a sleeper stretch. Coming down, providing as much resistance as possible. Go till you feel a pinch, hold, and then pull that hand back up. That's 2. Again, coming down. Treat this as a strength exercise. You'll notice you get a little bit further each time. Try to keep that shoulder tucked and back up. We got 2 more here. Coming down, far as you can, provide resistance, and then pull up against that resistance. And 1 more, coming down. Hold, 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 apply resistance, and pull back up. Good. And we'll flip over to the other side. Lying down on our side, shoulders tucked. Elbow is at 90 degrees. Create tension in that arm. Hand on the fist and press down. I'm going to be limited on this one because I have a shoulder injury, but go as low as you can. Apply that resistance and come back up. Make sure that shoulder is tucked. Don't let it come up towards your ear. Coming back down. Apply resistance and pull back up against that resistance. Again, we are active the entire time here. Coming down and apply that resistance. Come back up. Good, that's 3. Again, coming down, resisting, resisting, resisting. Hold and back up. And 1 more time here, coming down. And back up. Okay, we're going to do a new exercise we haven't done in any of the mobility classes before. It's going to be a little bit challenging. There's not going to be a lot of movement in this, so don't get discouraged. We're going to work on external rotation. So we're going to lie down in this position. Our face is going to be in the floor. And from here, our arms are on the ground, and all we're going to do is try to lift our wrist off of the ground. For most people, we struggle with external rotation, so there's not going to be much movement. Even if there's no movement, I want you just to attempt to rotate that wrist off of the ground. We're going to do 5 of these. We'll do them both at the same time. So lying down, face in the ground, elbows directly out to the side and at 90 degrees. From here, All we're going to do is lift off of the ground. Okay, so because you can't see, I'll walk you through it. So wrists and elbows are on the ground. We're going to come to the top and pause. So 3, 2, 1, lifting those wrists up. Pause, 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 as high as you can, and relax. For some of you, it's going to feel cramping in your shoulders. This is tissue that doesn't get used often. Again, coming up, high as you can, pause, elbows are on the ground, wrists are in the air, and down. That's 2. Coming back up, pause, hold, 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 down, that's 3. Again, coming up, high as you can, pause, 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 and down, that's 4. We got one more. Get those wrists up as high as you can. Here we go. Up, 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 up. Hold, hold, hold. And down. Excellent. And we'll come back up. Okay, and then we are going to finish off with some lateral flexions. We're going to go back into our thoracic spine car position. We're going to have our hands on our shoulders, and all we're going to do is tuck down to the side. When you do this, I really want you to try and push that rib cage out to the other side. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Here we go. Dropping that shoulder down to your side, pushing that rib cage out, feel the stretch, and back up. We'll do 5 on one, then 5 on the other. Coming back down, push that rib cage out, and back up. That's 2. Again, coming down, push that rib cage out. That's 3. I want you to take a deep breath in before this one. Coming down, feel that stretch. That's 4. And one more. And 5. Other direction. Here we go. Pushing that rib cage up. 1. Deep breath in. Coming down. It's 2. Again. 3. 4. And one more. Deep breath in. Coming down. And 5. Excellent. That is another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT. Thank you for joining. Thank you for making your health a priority. Again, this is a free resource for you. Please share with anybody that needs help, and I will see you on